I was an Augustinian seminarian, and very much on the road to priesthood, and member of the order, so I'm very much into the Catholic teaching on life and my own personal views on the life issue. Come from a very personal space for me as an adopted child, right? I understand that. But I put those two things together when I got elected. Some of it related back to, as a young seminarian, running into a young woman who was having to make a very difficult choice. And doing something that a lot of us oftentimes forget to do. I listened to her. I listened to her. The immediate response tends to be to judge. Well, it seems like a personal problem. Or, well, you know what you need to do. Doesn't matter which side you're on. You stop listening. But I listened to her. I related that experience back to something my mother said to me when I was about 15 or 16 years old. She went to a school event with me, and she noticed a few things about me. So when we got home, she said, you know what your problem is? You don't shut up and listen. You walk in the room and you're like, hey, right? Boom, 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 boom. Talking about everything, anything, just getting into it. Shut up and listen. That was brought into that conversation with that young woman, where the impulse, the instinct to react and to convince her to do what I wanted her to do had to be suppressed by listening to her, in hearing her story, in forming some degree of empathy with her. I'm not a woman, not in her situation, so I can't put my feet exactly into her shoes. But I can appreciate what size they are. I can appreciate what kind they are, how worn they are from the walk that she's had to walk, carrying the burdens that she's had to carry, enough to listen. And at the end of that, just saying, I hear you. Not judging, not berating, but just listening. When I got elected, I'm standing there on the State House steps. I'm swearing the oath of office. And I look out at everybody out there. After a very contentious battle, I ran against Kathleen Kennedy Kathleen Kennedy Townsend, who was our lieutenant governor, Teddy Kennedy's niece, Bobby's daughter. She was our lieutenant governor running for governor. And very hard-fought political battle, you know, all of that. And I'm standing and I'm looking out and I'm seeing all these people, and I realize in that moment, I represent all of them. So I can't just be the lieutenant governor for Republicans, or the lieutenant governor for black folks, or the lieutenant governor for bald people. I have to be for all of them. And that requires listening, and it requires an appreciation of the shoes that they're wearing and the walk they're walking. Our politics today won't allow us to do that. It goes back to what I was saying about the members who are saying, if I get caught having a discussion with someone across the aisle on the House floor, people come, what were you talking about? What's he want? And you're forced to retreat. And I think what we have to find is the strength to step into that. But it's hard to do because, as we're told by our leaders, if the way you want to express your First Amendment rights respectfully is to kneel while the national anthem is being played, then you should be fired from your job. you hear a community of people rise up in concern that young black men, in their encounters with law enforcement, typically wind up dead. And that is a problem for us. And the only way we can express that is to say Black lives matter. Not to the exclusion of white lives, not to the exclusion of blue lives, but damn it, for a moment, could you at least pay attention and notice that our lives matter too? That comes from listening and appreciating the shoes and the walk that they're walking.